Greetings. This is Samir of Earth-Based Records, and a lot of hard news lately with virus news, war news, and abortion on the front burner of American politics and the domestic fight really toned down a notch as the just juicy Jesse, I don't know. This is is an important thing, like Jesse Smollett, uh, a unique name. Anyway, I wasn't in any way making. We needed to get over that case, which involved racial issues in America. Now, a lot of our conflicts, whether start with the Revolutionary War in 1776, by 1850, there was another war, which was the British, smackdown, really, in the War of 1812, and then the Civil War in 1850. So this Civil War in America seemed a little strange because really in 1812, so since 1776, we've been fighting the British, who are, one of our major founding countries. Not the only one, but one of the major founding European colonists as a composed. Now, I am from India, my parents, my heritage, but there are Native Americans. Christopher Columbus thought he was in India. Look, this is neither here nor there. We're arguing over words. This is the thing. That was a very important thing to get the Jussie Smollett case, out of the way, which dealt with some major civil rights issues and racial conflict in America. It is my personal opinion that this is an extension of the American Revolutionary War, and we can only unpack these conflicts one at a time as they occur. Regarding the series of Roe v. Wade Casey cases, these are the two major abortion decisions since 1973, Roe v. Wade, in the era of the Vietnam War or the French Indochina War, which America entered into secretly beginning in 1960. But let us remember that in 1945 this war began as the French Indochina War, and that was the year, of course, that Japan was bombed in Hiroshima and Nagasaki by the United States, according to the history that I was taught in school. Now, my statement, who cares? No, that's not the issue. I'm not saying that I'm a special person, although I do have a disability, so I could be, but no, that's not the point. Everybody here in the United States is being asked, hey, what is your opinion? For the record, believe it or not, because only I am a YouTube creator, is that I have this outlet. Other people on their social media or in their local channels or just on paper, like old ladies with their own idea of Facebook, whether they project it on the wall, etc., etc. So, here's what I have to say. I am pro-life. I have some strange conspiracy ideas about Planned Parenthood because it says Planned Parenthood, but then they say, oh, no, we're not doing any parenthood here. We do abortions here. I don't know what that could mean, right? I'm going to start from original principles, not of our Constitution, original intent. That was a different issue. I'm going to talk about the fact that, when you are a young man or a young woman, age 12, 13, starting to get certain sexual ideas in your mind, it is not my opinion. I strongly don't, before you become sexually active, that's what I'm talking about. I don't believe that whether male or female, that you intend that your child, if you or your friend, get pregnant, that child would be aborted. I don't even know if it even really happens. It says Planned Parenthood. So this is just another conspiracy. That's not the point. This is about, correcting the nothing wrong with the name Planned Parenthood. The problem is this idea related. Remember, this was during the Vietnam War in America, 1973. Now, the war ended in 75. I was born in 1967. What I'm trying to say, look, it has always been my strange confusion. Like, well, we are not short on resources with regards to taking care of these children, whether they find an adoptive home or that the state, would care for them. Certainly, the state of California definitely would care for these children. Now, there were some technological issues which definitely justifies the delay of the Casey case. Now, what I mean by that was Casey was talking about the fine lines of the trimester system of Roe v. Wade, which was in the words of the case, Roe v. Wade, admitted by the justices, written by Justice Blackmun, Harry Blackmun, that look, this is kind of hocus pocus as regards to the Constitution. He didn't say it was hocus pocus with regards to faith or regards to science. He said it was a hocus pocus case in regards to the American Constitution, the trimester system. Excuse me. Now, what I mean by this is that, and I need to get a glass of water, right? Or some Marco Rubio. Is he still on the job? No, this is still my morning coffee. So, it's got a little sugar in it, for the throat. It's good. Now, let me take a different perspective on all this to let you know about my thoughts. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't know really what happens inside a Planned Parenthood, and most men, as you see in the protests, they don't want to know what happens inside that building. Nothing wrong with the name of Planned Parenthood. What's wrong is these ladies, they don't really, we can't trust them about what actually happens in those buildings. Possibly parenthood could happen inside of Planned Parenthood. Men want to know what's really going on in there. Let's be honest. And we were talking in the beginning with the age of 12 and above, right? So, here is what really needs to happen. You can keep the name Planned Parenthood as long as parenthood is happening in there. Now, I talked about the Casey case, which talks about the scientific side of these edges of the viability question, which is what we wanted to know. As men, women's bodies, it all seems to be extended sex ed for the Supreme Court. Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you agree? Like the Supreme Court really wants to know. And these are older people. They still don't know what happens in there, at those places and stuff. Here's the thing. Parenthood needs to happen inside of Planned Parenthood, and they have to be honest. The ladies need to be happening honestly. Is it like the stork that's bringing the baby, or like Santa Claus, or like who's bringing us this child? Like a woman comes home with a bloody baby or something. I don't know how swaddling clothes, I've heard many stories from Mother Goose, and it's all my kindergarten, nursery school teachers. School teachers, the teachers union are the problem. And today we do recognize the funeral of the great Senator Bob Dole of Kansas, and his esteemed wife, Elizabeth Dole of the Red Cross. I have a cousin who volunteered in the insurance business. Everybody's got a cousin in the insurance business, right? Volunteered quite a bit, extensively for the Red Cross. I volunteer still for FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Administration. It's part of the same line of work here in California due to recent events. I take a moment to say, I always liked Bob Dole. My father in particular went to school in at Kansas State University. That was the basis of his immigration to the United States in Manhattan, Kansas. Kansas State University and Kansas, Wizard of Oz kind of place. You just take a yellow brick road and you get there. Isn't it interesting regarding Bob Dole? Now, someday I may visit Kansas, but only possibly my only ticket, So Bakersfield's not a small town. They entertain any fantasy that you might have. Like, I want to live in a small town, right? This is not even much of a small town. It's 8,000 square miles in Kern County, but follow the yellow brick road. Yes, on the Lorne Daigle World Tour, I might someday end up in Kansas. Possibly, on the world tour. It's possible. I don't even believe that anybody even travels. It's 8,000 square miles. You can't even get out of this place. How could you possibly go to Kansas, right? Just take this yellow brick road. I am not trying to delay. My mind is getting diverted by otherly thoughts. So yes, with all joking aside, yes, I always thought well of Bob Dole, just like Chevy Chase or what's the guy from Carmel, California, Dirty Harry, you know, um, sorry, got a bad rap, for one bad speech or something, and one last attempt to be president. But then, we saw Biden, we saw before Biden, Trump and Hillary. They'll, in getting to a certain age, is very understandable. I just wish we don't even have to keep going over this. Bob Dole, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, Joe Biden. Just like I need one last. This is like my last chance to run for president. And I'm a politician. That's all we ever do, right? Run for president, right? So that was the one blemish on a almost perfect record in my mind as a Kansas Republican like Dwight D. Eisenhower, actually a Kansas Democrat, which was worse than which I would not be. And then the Manhattan Project potentially, but that's another conspiracy theory. So whether a Kansas Republican or a Kansas Democrat, only the Wizard of Oz really would be able to tell the difference. Um, I've given the outline of my thoughts on the abortion. Basically, the people need to know, first of all, that it was an indicator of wartime using the babies, up to London, really, about future lineages and potential to inherit the throne and things like that. This is the stuff of, where babies feel parents feel that the babies' lives might be in jeopardy, and you don't know what happens in Planned Parenthood. We do once again offer our condolences, to uh, Queen Elizabeth in London, who I believe in last December lost her renowned, really mythological husband, and more than a husband and a prince, but really a real kingly type of prince, almost, which is the way, Christian thinking should be, that the Christ figure is a prince, not a king, so it's all good with me. And regarding, next in line, Prince Charles, and he may never make it to king either, and that would be a good thing for him as well. Just ask Camilla. So I believe a few things. I'm going to collect my thoughts here. The threat to the babies, since the days of Oedipus in Greece, has been these anticipations of potential of, as we say in the Bible, a star shining in the northern sky, and the three wise guys, showing up to, as representatives of the king, and saying, "Hey, this could be the newborn, threat to the throne." So, Therefore, and thereby, and theretofore, three. Sorry. I am disabled. Yes, it is my belief that this is all abortion's all hocus pocus related to war. I'm gonna still blame this ascendancy problem in London, really, which is still, the crown that we know of as far as English speaking peoples. That the problem is the fear that this child may someday achieve greatness and threaten the old establishment. So, um, uh, therefore, what really the practical answer is very easy. Be transparent about um, um, what happens inside Planned Parenthood. It should be as advertised. I mean, this is an advertising violation under the antitrust laws of a, bait and switch. This is a bait and switch problem of Planned Parenthood and can be prosecuted more under the antitrust laws than under the I don't know, scientific laws or the criminal laws, etc., etc. Now, this is my understanding from a faith-based perspective. Okay, I'm gonna get to the thing I have not mentioned is the medical advances. So I'm gonna give a nod to the medical community here with test tube babies and other alternatives to forcing the mother to carry that child to term, for whatever reasons. Usually these are practical fears about, the safety of the mother or the child, that the mother is not willing to carry that child to term. Yet inside that Planned Parenthood, the men want to know, and the women need to be honest. And in my opinion, really what needs to happen is that also with the alternative test tube babies, that there is no excuse for abortion to take place. I'm not sure if it even actually takes place. And also, what was I going to say? The London needs to stop, threatening, on the basis of these so-called new stars born, which happen all the time. So, what is the answer, or my opinion? The verdict is against, is, as I said, pro-life. We're just asking, number one, stop threatening the newborn children, and number two, the Planned Parenthood is guilty of, bait and switch, Sherman antitrust law violations. And number three, basically, the government is not short on resources to take care of unwanted children, nor are there, in many cases, a shortage of potential adoptive homes. And that is a pro-life answer from Samir here of Earth-Based Records, Earth Faith. Thank you.